better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, he's making a list and he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're away. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus, he is coming to town.
All of you to this Zomeo festive season lucky dip, and it is the Christmas season offer. We've just heard Santa Claus coming to town and he'll come with a lot of gifts. So yes, Dr. Jawahar Shah has brought to you something very special. This holiday season, you're getting a 40% flat off on Zomeo, Zomeo Ultimate, and even on some of our premium webinar courses. And that is what you have to do. Just buy any of these products. And we just don't have one, but we have got many dates for the lucky dip to follow. So today is the first lucky dip. That is the 20th. After that, we've got it on the 27th. We're starting the new year with a bang on the 3rd, 10th of Jan, 17th of Jan, 24th of Jan. And my friends, let me announce to you, I know you all have been watching this video of Dubai and wondering what has that got to do with the homeopathic software. The mega lucky dip, you can read it right on your screen. One lucky winner will get a trip. Yes, a paid trip to Dubai, and he or she can take her or his partner along with her as well. We will sponsor the couple or the two individuals that would go in. One winner will get a great lifetime opportunity to visit Dubai, a wonderful country, at the cost of homeopathysoftware. So just all you have to do is buy your software, spread the word across your groups, across the communities, across your study groups, in your colleges, amongst your friends. Let all homeopaths know that this mega bumper offer is being presented to you by Enlightenment Education Homeopathysoftwares. That's all that you have to do. And there is a 40% off on our software. So it all works in your favor, a win-win situation for you. And just spread the word. Today, along with this lucky dip, we've got a wonderful session. The session is being conducted by Dr. Archana, one of our in-house doctors. All right, the next screen that you will see will be of Dr. Archana. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Archana, and welcome to our session of Zomeo today. We will be learning about feature by feature tour of our signature software, Zomeo. This is the ultimate homeopathic software, especially created for the experts that we have in homeopathy. Zomeo, loaded with amazing modules, practical features, and a treasure trove for books, not to mention a more integrated and an overall approach towards patient care and management. As we delve into the different features, you will realize why Zomeo is a must have for each and every one of you. And not only it gets easier, but also more accurate to this. Also, there are so many other features that are there in our Stellar software. So let's start with solving our case in a Zomeo. This is a case of a 16-year-old girl who has been suffering from breathlessness since few days. She has had few episodes in the past and was silently suffering. She was brought in by her mother to the clinic who said she was witnessed an accident while walking on the street few days back and this had a deep impact on her mind. She as a child was very lenient and very good in studies. She always used to think of others before her and always used to keep them as priority than her. I could not find anything specific in the generals, but her thirst was increased and was for small quantity of water. This thirst was for at regular intervals. Apart from the appetite, urine, stool, everything was normal. She was thermally ambithermal towards chili. She had an aversion to spicy and oily food and was having a very peaceful, good, refreshing sleep. There was nothing peculiar in her case except that she loved sweets and had been very sincere and hardworking in her schooling time. So, friends, this is the case, and I hope you note the characteristic symptoms of this patient. But before we begin to analyze and solve this case, let us take a few moments to think of a situation where we have to solve this case and prescribe for the patient without the presence of any homeopathic software. We all may have our favorite repertories, right? Or those repertories where we feel we are most complete in this repertory. And this repertory which we have studied since our college time, will cover most, if not all, many symptoms. Correct? But the truth is that every repertory has its own strengths, and every repertory is not perfect. Some repertories have covered the mind symptoms well, while there are others that have more of a general bent, and yet others whose clinical aspects are their forte. Now imagine browsing through each of these repertories manually to look for the rubrics that perfectly match the patient and then painstakingly list them with their remedies. And then, after that, you have listed the remedies, compare them and add up to see which remedy features among the top in the list. It would turn out to be absolutely tedious and time consuming job, isn't it? And delivering a medicine would take a long time. But with computers and the right repertorization software, all of this work can be done in minutes without compromising on the quality of case analysis or repertorization. Now let us see how this is done using the Zomeo. Before going through the case, I would like to tell you there are certain pointers to this case, isn't it? Here is the totality that you see on the screen, which we are considering for the simillimum. The number one thing that I thought in this patient was the ailment from shock. Now, this 16-year-old girl who has been coming to the clinic for breathlessness was absolutely okay as per the mother's history. She had these episodes in the past and was silently suffering. But on asking when the mother told her that anything she has seen. She said that she had witnessed this accident while walking on the street, and it came to her as a shock when she saw that accident. Now, this had a deep impact on her, the shock of seeing the accident, and this led to a grief. So, I had considered this as the main part in my case, and I took this as the first rubric, ailments from shock. And also, I had thought of taking one more rubric, that is ailment from grief. As I said, in the journals, I could not see anything specific, nothing peculiar in the case. So I had taken this desire for sweet as the third rubric. Now, when she came to the clinic, I could see the breathlessness with a deep sigh. And on seeing on examination, everything was normal. But this was a peculiar kind of sighing, which was deep and long kind of sighing. Apart from all this, she was a chilly patient. Now, as we all know, this breathlessness could be of any reason. It could be asthma, it could be a chest infection, it could be of being overweight, it could be due to smoking, or this breathlessness could also be a panic attack. I had ruled out all the causes of chest infection, of overweight, and she didn't have any history of asthma. This shortness of breath that she was having, that could be due to some other reason, but not due to any underlying disease. I thought this could be also due to exercise or due to a prolonged period of bed rest or sedentary lifestyle, but I could not see any in this. So, what I understood was this was due to anxiety, due to the shock that she had gone through. And there was also breathing difficulties. So, when I ruled out all the possibilities, I thought that I should go to a repertory who would be taking this totality in a clinical form. So, as you see the totality, besides the last point, all others can be taken as a part of the repertorial totality. Now, let us see how can we repertorize this case and how quickly and efficiently we will find the simillimum. So, let's start repertorizing in this Zomeo. So, doctors, this is our screen, and you all know about Zomeo. We have these options of patient, repertory, materia medica, etc. Let's start with registering this patient. As we all know, we go to the patient panel, we select on the new patient, and here you come to an extensive details of the patient registration. We just have to write the name, which is a mandatory field. The other options can be written later as your time. So let's name this patient as Aruna and write the female. Let's say the age was 16 as we have already mentioned. As we see the age, you can see that how automatically, how nicely the date of birth comes to. And also the sun sign as we sometimes go through the zodiac calendars. Then there is this option of preliminary information where we write down the details like occupation, marital status, religion, prognosis, etc. And we can just save this. As soon as you save, two things will happen in the software. First thing is on the right, we can see the name of the patient. And the second thing is this patient also gets registered into the patient list. You can see the patient list, the number 110. And also, in case the patient comes next time for the follow up, you just have to write down the initials. Like, for example, I write the initials ARU and search, and here is my patient where I can write down the details and do the working. Now, whatever work that you're doing for this patient would be all stored in this name. So you don't have to take any specific book, or you don't have to enter all these details into another Excel sheet, or don't have to write this into an another Word file. All the details are there in this patient registration. And you can enter as many and any number of cases in this system. There is no limit for the cases. All right. So far, so good. Let's go to the next option of case record. Now here you start recording all the case in this option of classic case record, where it will display today's date, and you can see an extensive form coming in front of you. Let's write down the location, sensation of breathlessness, and you can just save this. You can also see associated complaint, mine, other options as well. In her case, the appetite was normal, and as you also had seen that there was a thirst to this patient, it was increased. She was craving for sweets. So let's write down craving for sweets. We can see all these details are getting saved automatically in such a beautiful format over here in the view section. And you don't have to be worried where all these details are going. Next, we have sleep. Also, we have thermals. This patient was having aggravation from cold. So she was a chilly patient. And you can see how beautifully in our software there is an automatic option. There are other options as well, like how you want the fan in summer, in rainy, in winter, etc. Now that we have this patient as chilly, you can see these details in the view section. Going ahead, we also have this option of female, pediatrics, fever, past history, family history, everything in our software, which we can tell you in detail when we have a training one-to-one session with you. All right. Now we have taken the details. Let's start repertorizing this case. Here, I would like to tell you that we have repertories in our section of repertory module. And in the classical view, you can see that all the repertories are lined towards on the left. You might have a question, why so many repertories in our software, right? The answer is very simple, as we already have told that every case has its own repertorization. Say Dr. Bonninghausen's repertory is more on the physical generals. Dr. Kent's has more of mind rubrics. And we have the most latest complete repertory, which is most updated with the rubrics of 2022. Now, this Stellar software has this as the main in us. We as doctors have so many rubrics that are not found in other repertories. But Complete has the most updated and the latest version, as you see, has many of the rubrics. So let's start repertorizing our case. You can see this blinking cursor where search symptoms are written. Let's start repertorizing this. The first symptom that we had was ailment from shock. So let's type ailment and let's type shock. As I click on this, I see so many rubrics coming in front of me. In this case, 7. We have one from the complete. We have to just double click it. And what I see is this gets recorded into the repertorization. On the top left that you see this colorful box, this is nothing but our repertorization table. Let's take another rubric of ailments from grief. So all I have to do is just write down ailment and write down grief. Let me click on the search option and I can see that my software has taken all the rubrics whichever are there in the repertories, in this case 43 repertories. We have total 39 rubrics coming in front of you having ailments from grief. So friends, can you see how easily we have picked up this rubrics? Let me take the rubric from asthma chapter, which is there in the special. And I wanted to take this specifically because I could see that there was grief with this. In the complete, there are many other rubrics, but I did not find that relevant to my case. So I just go to this special repertory which we have. Now, special repertories are nothing but they are repertories that are having specifically that condition in it. You can see that we have so many special repertories with us, not only acute conditions like diarrhea, but we also have suppression and vaccination. We can use any of this repertory relevant to the case. So I thought of taking it from special and I took this rubric of difficult ailments off. Double click and it goes into the repertorization. Now the third thing that I saw was sighing. So let me click this on sighing. As I can see that there is an automatic prompter also in case I am not sure of which word is there. I just have to simply click and search and I can get all the rubrics for sighing. Now I wanted to draw your attention to one thing. As we all know that Fatak is the most concise and the clinical repertory that we have. We can take more of the rubrics from the same. Now why Fatak? As I had discussed earlier, that there are many repertories in which have their own suitability to the case. Fatak is more concise and convenient clinical repertory to use. When we click on Fatak, we can see that all the rubrics are there in an alphabetical manner. Let's see how it is there in this software. Just click on the repertories and we can go to the Fatak's repertory. You can see from A to Z all alphabetical arrangement of the repertory. It is more easy to use for the acute cases and it has more clinical and pathological rubrics. We can choose any and many rubrics. And here is a list that I thought I should be considered. Now here I found this rubric in Fatak and I wanted to take it as the sighing one. I can take the rubric which is having maximum number of remedies. You can see the repertory, the chapter, and you can see the remedy count. And on the right, you can also see what all remedies are coming. The 3-mark gradation is in red, the 2-mark is in blue, and also the 1-mark is the normal one. So a double click and I add this rubric. Then we have the physical generals, that is desire for sweets. So all I have to do is desire and write sweets. I single click can take me to all the rubrics that I have. I thought of taking it from complete as it has the maximum number of rubrics. Double click and it gets added to the system. And I also had thought of taking it from Dr. Kent's rubric. So I have a choice. I take it from Dr. Kent's also. So you can see we have taken totally 5 rubrics. You also have a permutation of combination to change it from any rubric. Like say I change my mind and I want to take sign and I just want to be more sure of this. I thought of taking it from complete as well because it has a lot number of rubrics. So this is my number of rubrics that I take. Just one click and I go to my repertorization table. You can see just because I was talking to you, it took so much time. But if I was not talking and just clicking, I could have even finished this case well before even 15 minutes. This way, friends, you can solve any and many number of cases with this stellar software. You can see on the screen that there are 6 symptoms and we have got more than 400 remedies. Let me tell you what are these things on the left side. The first option is the repertorization sheet, which you can see. The second is a clear repertorization sheet option. It clears all the rubrics and you can start over again. The third option is a mind clipboard. You just click on this and you can see only the mind rubrics coming in front of you. In this case, it is 2. Then we have a general clipboard and you can see in this only one rubric from the generality chapter was taken. Inside you can see the remedies as well and this is also highlighted over here in the small box above. Then we have this rest clipboard. Now apart from mental and general, whatever rubrics are there in the case is highlighted over there. Now these are certain clipboards that we have. These are nothing but permutation and combination of rubrics which you feel are relevant to the case you can take. Say for example, from this mother clipboard, mother repertorization that we have, I just want to take only 2 to 3 rubrics. Say for example, the right click when I see, I can see this clipboard 1. I add this rubric to this clipboard 1. The second rubric also gets added to the clipboard 1. You can see as I'm adding, it is getting added to this number 1 clipboard. So let me add these 2 rubrics. And as I have added these 2 rubrics, I can just see what remedy is coming to my mind. It's so unique that we can see the remedy is changed to natramur from ignatia. Likewise, you have another option of clipboard 2, clipboard 3, 4 and 5. So you get 5 permutation and combinations in order to see this case from different angles. Isn't it interesting that you can even change your mind and see what rubric comes to you? Fine. Let's go ahead with the session. As you can see that there are 6 symptoms and we have got more than 400 remedies. Now, this is not enough. We have to see what is very specific to the case, right? So here we are having certain tools for you for the repertorization. As you click on this, a completely different ribbon comes to you on the top. There are so many filters that we can see over here. Like certain strategy filters are there, more strategies are there, certain remedy filters are there, and so on. We will discuss about these filters in detail when you have one-to-one training session with us. Now, let's go to one of the filters and I can show this filter to you. That is the cross filter repertorization. Now, when we select this cross repertorization, a screen comes in front of you where we have to select certain rubrics that will help to drill down the list of remedies. Here, you can select whichever rubric which is relevant to the case, which you feel is very important. So, in this case, I wanted to select this first rubric, this desire sweets, and also sign. Now, this depends on you on which rubric you feel is important for the case, and you can check and select the most important rubric. When we apply this filter, the software will only show those remedies that are collectively present in these selected rubrics and will eliminate all the remedies that do not cover the combination of the selected rubrics. As you can see in this, we are having total of 436 remedies. Now I apply this filter and what I see that there are total 9 remedies in front of me. Isn't it so fascinating that we have just selected the cross repertorization? And also you can change this to any other filter that you want. Say for example, I want to take a property filter. Now what happens in property filter is whatever is relevant to the case. In my case, I found this patient was a chilly patient and also a thirsty patient. As a homeopathic doctor, there are certain attributes that the patient comes to you. And these are only important as homeopathic point of view and not as allopathic point of view because homeopathic doctors take all these attributes, the properties of the patient into detail. Like for example, how is the thirst and how is the thermals. Let's click on this option and we come to 88 remedies. Now, it would be more easy for you rather than going from 400 remedies, isn't it? We also have this option of comparison where you just have to select the remedy and you have to click on the option above. Say add. I select this remedy and I get this option of selected remedy successfully. I think I can even think of sulfur. So I just click on this option and add to the compare. We can see one more option of selected remedy successfully added. I want to add natramur as well because it is coming third. Same way I add it and I see that I just have to click on this option of view and you can see that we can not only compare the remedies but also can see the properties as well. So this becomes very easy when you're not sure what remedy to give. You can even read in materia medica. Like for example, we have this more than 100 materia medica books. You can select any book whichever you please. Say for example, I want to select from the primer of materia medica, and I just go to the other option as well, and I select this in sulfur. You can see how easily we have got three of the options, and not only from generalities, but any of the chapters you please, you can compare this. This becomes so easy and handy that you don't have to physically open any materia medica and go through the section just with a click. All right, we can continue with our repertorization tools. As I said, we have this cross filter where we can take the rubrics and we just select OK. We come to 2, but I'm not sure whether to give this one. So I also can change my mind and go to my property filter, which I feel is relevant to the case. Say the patient is chilly and thirsty, and I see that there are 88 remedies coming in front of me. I think of Ignatia because it is covering most of the rubrics. And how do I confirm it? I just give a right click and I can see the first option coming, that is symptoms covered and not covered. To my surprise, it is showing all the rubrics that are relevant to my case and are very important except the desired suites one. On reconfirming with the patient, I found this desire was not so intense that I had taken. So I just stick to this remedy and just look at the other remedies coming in the picture. And I see that other remedies are not so very close than Ignatia. If you want to confirm about this remedy, we can also go into the materia medica that we have and we click on this option of search. Here, the blinking cursor will show you all the words that are coming. Say, for example, this word of sign, and I just search for sign, and I see this word coming in all the books in materia medica that we have in our software. We have total 1000 times where this word is coming in the materia, and I can go through any of the books over here. Say, for example, I am very keen for Dr. Fatak, so I can see where this word is coming in Fatak. And I'm looking and I'm going on reading wherever this word is signed. Say, for example, in this case, it is coming with dullness. Now, this is not relevant to my case, so I go on reading wherever this word is relevant to my case. I just want to be more sure with Ignatia. I just click on this option and I can read through where this word of sign has come. It is showing that there is a sign in this non-communicating, and I can think that this word is very much relevant to my case. I can read over here and even can add certain notes as well. Here I come to certain words like takes deep breath for relief. In my case, the patient was taking deep breathing and she had a desire for long, deep breath. So this is more aesthetically marked. And there was no pathology involved. So I thought of this rubric, and this is also there in Dr. Fatak's concise materia medica. So, friends, it's so amazing that you can also read through any rubric and also can look into the gist of this remedy from just a single click. So, I applied these filters and I thought of giving Ignatia. Now, I'm not sure of what dose to be given to the patient. Sometimes it happens that we are not sure of what posology to be taken. We are sure of the drug. So we have a very beautiful option over here to help you, especially for the beginners, which is there in the utility chapter. You simply have to click on this utility option and go to the fifth option of potency selector. A new list will come in front of you where we have to put the relevant information for the patient. Say the patient is adolescent, then the patient is intelligent. You can see the vitality. You can go to the next option of the dominant miasm. I thought of miasm, and it was not looking of psychotic or tubercular, but because of the ailment from shock. So a strong sura was coming to my mind. I click on sura and I also give the response that is desired, that is relief. I click on result and not only the potency but also how much repetition to be given comes in front of me. This is very important when we are considering a case from pathological point of view and also clinical. I just click on OK and I know what potency to be given for ignatia. We just go on this prescribe option and we see how much easily this quick prescription comes to you. The complaint is given in front of you. The remedy is already there. We have to write down the potency, which is 200 in my case, dosage, like how many powders you want to give, repetition, and we can also see the number of days. Where does all this information go? It goes into the follow up section in the patient panel. We just go into the follow up and can see this remedy beautifully prescribed. We also have an option of adding more remedies which you feel for the case. Say Saclac, and you just have to write the desired potency and add. You can even take a printout of this for your own benefit. Like just click on this print and you can see this prescription coming up. So this way, doctors, we have solved this case. And you can see how easily with all the complete details about the prescription, we can prescribe for the case. Also, we have other features in our software that we have been telling you all the time. Like we have a utility section wherein you can not only give patient instructions but also diet and nutrition. And one click can take you to all the clinical conditions over here, which are not only acute but also chronic. We can even increase the font and read them, or even we can change the background of your own color, that whatever you wish. We have diet and nutrition. Again, there are clinical conditions which are not only acute but chronic, like Crohn's disease, fluorosis, etc. And this would be beneficial for the patient because when the patient walks into your clinic, he not only expects the care and attention, but also certain kind of dietary management, certain do's and don'ts that will help him improve the case. Going ahead, we also have allopathic drug data. We have a total of 500 drugs with us, more than 500. Say, for example, if you're not sure of what indication and contraindication the drug is given for, you can read it through the same. So, in my case, I had given the patient Ignatia 2 doses and she improved a lot with the same. As I have been saying, everyone, that the Zomeo not only helps you to solve a case in with more accurate simillimum, but it also helps you to add knowledge to your homeopathic and also helps you in your daily practice with the homeopathy. I hope you enjoyed this session and I hope you learned from this session. We look forward for your feedback and we also would like to know any suggestions that you have from your side. We will try to get back to you as the best. And until then, next session, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Archana. And thank you, everybody, for patiently watching this wonderful session. Without further ado, I wouldn't waste a lot of anyone's time. We'll get into the lucky dip, the main reason why we're gathered here to see who the winner is. Let's have a countdown from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's spin it. We're waiting. There you go. Okay, the winner is Dr. Jetti Shilpa from Telangana. Congratulations, Dr. Jetti Shilpa. You have just won yourself a Zomeo software. And as she's already purchased it. She'll probably be refunded of it or something. So that's amazing. Congratulations.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Shilpa. I am from Telangana. I pursued my graduation and post-graduation from JSPS Government Homeopathic Medical College, Hyderabad. At present, I am working as medical officer in government sector. Recently, I purchased the Zomeo software and I am very happy to say that I won the lucky dip in the Zomeo contest. I am very grateful to the Zomeo team and thank you.
So, my dear friends, just to reiterate this session, we have this lucky dip on different dates. We have 7 winners to be announced for this lucky dip. One's already done, and you can have a look at the dates also. The first one is today. After that, it's the 27th, 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th. Not to forget, agar aap logon mein se kisne start miss kiya hoga, we had the video playing of, a Dubai trip, and you'll be wondering, what is this all about? Yes, you watched it and heard it right. 31st of Jan 2023, we have a mega lucky dip. Read it right here. One lucky winner will get a trip to Dubai. He can take one more person along with him, all paid by Mind Technologies Private Limited. How do you go there? Very simple. Participate in this lucky dip. Buy either of our premium products, Zomeo or Zomeo Ultimate. Look at it. There is a flat 40% off on Zomeo and on Zomeo Ultimate. ये 2 प्रोडक्ट्स में से आप कोई भी प्रोडक्ट खरीद लीजिए, ऑटोमेटिकली आप ड्रॉ में एंटर हो जाते हो, और अगर आपका नाम चूज हो जाता है तो आप आपको फर्स्ट 6 में एक सॉफ्टवेयर दिया जाएगा, एंड इफ नॉट, एंड इफ you're a winner in the last one, wow, that's a dream come true. Dubai is a very good destination to visit. Okay, so my dear friends, thank you so much for being here, for participating with us for this lucky dip, and spread the word across everybody. आप लोग के study groups में, in your friend circle, with all your homeopaths, post it on social media. If you have to get references, we've got a lot of gifts to be given up in the coming lucky dips as well. All right, so thank you very much for your time, for your patience. Christmas season of joy, love, peace, care, happiness, and gifting. So Dr. Jawahar Shah is gifting a lot of these things to all of you. So we'll end today's session, hoping to see a bigger number the next time we meet. And let us end today's session.